I know a lot of you disagree with what he has to say, but hey, isn't it wonderful that we have freedom of speech in this world? In 5 minutes, you're going to meet Dr. Robert Butterworth, who is concerned about people who think that Halloween is the work of the devil. He says that's dangerous. And we'll be joining him in 5 minutes live from Los Angeles, right here.
To be a part of our show, call 872-0750. That's 872-0750. Now, here's Paul Gonzales.
Well, a little earlier when we had our telephone problems getting that great guest we had in the last segment, Father Malachi Martin, we spoke of Halloween. And several people called up and said that they don't allow their kids to participate in Halloween activities because...
You can't fool me. You're working for the devil.
Yeah, well, basically that's what they were saying. Well, we have a psychologist on the phone with us who disagrees. And he is contemporary psychologist Robert R. Butterworth, Dr. Butterworth. And this man has a reputation of speaking his mind. He's experienced with all kinds of subjects concerning human nature and has a great perspective to offer us tonight about this controversy going on. And if you've ever been in Los Angeles, you have seen this guy in the media. He's the one they use to talk about some of these controversial issues. And Dr. Butterworth, it's great to have you here in Atlanta, Georgia, and all over the East and the Midwest tonight.
Well, thanks, Paul. It's really nice to be on.
Well, now, tell me about this effort again this year to discourage Halloween. Where is it going on? I understand Virginia's one place.
Virginia, there are places in Florida. There was also somebody told me something was starting in Louisiana. Last year, they also had problems in Texas. You know, it's really sad. And a lot of people say, well, why, Dr. Butterworth, are you spending your time, since you talk to kids that have so many problems, are you spending your time defending Halloween? And, you know, out here, and probably in a lot of other places, I talk to kids, and it's really tough being a kid nowadays. I mean, kids have to worry about being kidnapped. They have to worry about being sexually molested. There are kids that have to worry about being shot at and flunking out of school and being offered drugs. And one of the few things left that these kids have is to have fun dressing up on Halloween. And now here come these people that are saying, if you dress up when you're 7 as a witch, when you're 13, you're going to be drawn into Satan. And it's really sad because that's not the truth.
Well, we already have people who knew you were going to come on tonight standing by on the lines, and I'm sure you want to hear their opinions. Let me go ahead and officially give the invitation for you to call. How about this controversy about Halloween being some kind of a praise to the devil? The number's 872-0750 in Atlanta. Anywhere else, maybe Louisiana, he mentioned that state before, or maybe you're up in Wisconsin or Ohio or upstate New York. What's going on in your town, and how do you feel about these folks who don't want to let kids have their fun? The number's 872-0750 Atlanta. Anywhere else, 1-800-WSB-TALK. What do you say we talk to some of our friends, Dr. B?
Let's hear what they have to say.
David in Stone Mountain, you're on AM-750 WSB. Hello.
Hello. How you doing, Dr. B?
Hi.
Very well. Yeah, it's a pretty good issue you brought up in regards to Halloween and in terms of how it could seduce people towards the devil and what people are having to say. Now, my question is, do you really feel that's accurate? Do you really feel that that could occur on a psychological point of view?
No. You know why?
Why?
Because the Christians have been saying, the minority of the fundamental Christians have been saying, that because of these kids going out and dressing up, that's contributing to the rise of Satanism. Hey, last year in Salt Lake City, there was a convocation of people that are titled the Society for the Scientific Study of Religion. They said, and I'm going to quote, not a shred of evidence that a small number of satanic cults in this country is significant or spreading. Satanism isn't spreading, but these religious people are running around talking about it so much, the thing that they're worried about, they're actually perpetuating because they keep talking about it.
Giving them PR.
Oh, yeah, perpetuation. Yeah, that's an issue, too. Let me ask you a question. This is hopefully not a personal question. It's not meant to be, but do you read the Bible?
Uh-oh. I see it coming. Why, you tell me what it says.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to quote anything for fear of getting a word out of context. So, but generally it states that, things are coming to an end very quickly, and that the satanic issues are upon a rise. And based on, just to paraphrase, based on what it says, I kind of see that happening. Now, the point I'm making is Halloween as an issue. I can understand why some people are concerned about it, and primarily those people being Christian-type people. Now, I know...
What's the bottom line, David? Let's get to the point.
Okay, good. I will do that. Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, quickly, please.
Okay. Most psychologists are not Christians. Am I correct in assuming that?
No, I believe in Christ, and I believe in God, and I was raised Catholic.
Oh, great. Okay. So the point is, how can you really qualify that? How can you really put down the people who are concerned about it? I mean, I don't understand.
Okay, it's real easy, David, and that is that the research that I scan, and I scan a lot of research in my computer, I have not seen one study that says that Satanism is increasing. Hey, I dressed up as a goblin when I was a kid, and I don't read the Mass backwards, and I'm sure you probably did too. The point is, if somebody showed me some research that said, hey, listen, if your little kid dresses up as a devil, he's going to become a Satanist when he turns 17, I'd be out there too burning those costumes. But there's no research. There's no proof. It's all pie in the sky.
Thank you for your call, David. Appreciate it. Next one is Stanley on a car phone. And Stanley, you're on AM-750 WSB.
Well, thank you. Good evening. I remember as a child that I enjoyed dressing up for Halloween, and it was kind of part of my fantasy life. When you talk about dressing up as a cowboy, that reminds me of that. And we always used to collect for UNICEF on Halloween, so it was a real positive thing. And, personally, I feel that if some of these fundamentalists who have such strong feelings about everything lately, the art funding and homosexuals and Halloween and all that, if they would just try to think about just letting loose and just having a good time and maybe collecting for UNICEF and helping provide inoculations for the world's children, maybe they could turn the lemons into lemonade instead of being so bitter about it.
Amen, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Bye-bye.
Now we're going to go to North Carolina and Barry in Raleigh. And Barry, you're on AM-750 WSB.
Okay, how you doing?
All right, Barry.
Okay, I just want to throw down and loosen up some misconceptions about the way people are thinking. Okay, about this Halloween thing and everybody dressing up like witches and devils. Let me tell you something. That, I think, basically comes from the home. Okay? The adults of the home have these children, and they're teaching them fear. We are not to be taught fear. The human mind is a very strong mind. Okay? Basically what I'm saying is that you don't have to get out here on Halloween and say witches and ghosts and be Satanism, stuff like that. That's not Satanism. It is fear in the human mind, is fear in the heart. But we as adults, we as parents can teach our children that it is wrong, and it is definitely wrong. I will not have my child get out here and dress up as a witch or ghost and ask for something sweet.
Why?
It's wrong.
Why?
You're going up to the devil. You're leading up to the devil. It's a sight tease, because what's happening is you're getting candy to dress up as witches and ghosts and goblins, and it's not right in America. It will never be. It's
Doctor?
as far as humans, because Jesus didn't teach that.
Well, Barry had an interesting point, and I agree with half of what Barry had to say. He said that a lot of what kids pick up come from the family. Now, let's look at these kids. They get dressed up as ghosts and goblins. They go out, they get their candy, and the next day they eat the candy and they forget about it. Nobody makes a big thing out of it, so it doesn't stay in their mind. The other kids, parents are saying, you better not dress up like a ghost, you better not dress up like a goblin, because they may be out to get you. These little kids that would just go through this and not make a big thing out of it become preoccupied because parents are dwelling on it too much. Just let them go out. It's not going to cause it. There's no research, there's no studies that show that kids that grow up demons when they dress up. And if parents make a big thing out of it, they could actually make the kids worse than if they just let them go out and have a good time.
Barry, thank you for your call. I know the lines are real busy, but keep trying. We do want your comment. The number is 872-0750 in Atlanta. If you're in Carolina, like the last caller, or anywhere in the country, you can call us toll-free at 1-800-WSB-TALK. Our guest is psychologist Robert Butterworth. They call him Dr. B, and he believes that Halloween fanatics endanger the holidays for kids, and says there's no research to back up the fact that Satanism is growing in America today. A different point of view. It's 10:17, and this is AM-750 WSB.
The buzz is all over the city.
Let's get down to it, guys. It's time to take care of the business.
Hey, Wes.
Yes, sir.
Enough is enough is enough.
So you're going to be a part of our thing Friday, October 26th?
You better believe it. I'll be there.
Then I've had it. That is it. I have had it.
We're calling it It's Time to Clean Up Your Act Day. Join me, Wes Minner, and AM-750 WSB, Friday, October 26th, from 1 until 4, right out on the front lawn of WSB Radio. We'll be looking for all of you. Plus, be sure to bring your broom.
I'm bringing a broom and a mop and a dustpan and 3 friends.
So what are you doing today? Busy at work, running errands? Lunch with friends, going shopping at the mall? No matter what your day has in store for you, if you're constipated, you probably feel like you can't do anything. You're feeling sluggish and slow. It's awful, isn't it? If that's how you're feeling, a fiber laxative like Fiberall can make you feel yourself again. With Fiberall, you don't have to put your day on hold for constipation. Now, you may have heard of original Metamucil, but did you know that it's almost half sugar? But sugar does nothing to relieve constipation. It's the fiber that does all the work. That's why Fiberall has no sugar. Instead of sugar, Fiberall adds bran, another healthy fiber. And Fiberall really works to keep you regular. You can find Fiberall at Cub Foods. With a day like you've got today, you can't let constipation get in your way. Remember, if constipation is slowing you down, Fiberall can really help. Pick up some Fiberall today at Cub Foods.
Hi, this is Bobby Harper for OptiWorld. You know, eyeglass lenses are primarily designed to correct your vision. But new technology not only makes you see better, but also makes you look better. OptiWorld has all the latest innovations, including OptiLight polycarbonate lenses. Let me tell you about them. Nobody, again, ever need suffer from big, heavy, thick Coke bottle lenses. Newly developed OptiLight lenses can dramatically reduce the thickness of a strong prescription by 20, 30, or even 50%. And the benefits extend beyond comfort, because with a lighter load to bear, you have more frames to choose from. If you wear glasses with thick, heavy lenses, you know how uncomfortable they can be. I can assure you that OptiLight lenses will make a world of difference in the look and the feel of your glasses. And OptiWorld's no-risk guarantee ensures your unconditional satisfaction. If you're not completely happy with your new eyewear, bring it back within 90 days. We'll exchange it or replace it free. OptiWorld, the friendly eye care store.
High-Five Seekers, Ludlow Porch. Hey, you be sure and be with me for Milk and Cookies Monday morning starting at 9 a.m. Now, I want you to hush, face the front, and pay attention. Don't you hear Paul Gonzales talking on AM-750 WSB? I said, hush. I said, hush. I can't take you anywhere. Don't make me get out of this chair. Bring me a brick, Paul. I'm going to kill him.
Oh, boy, Luddy. I'll tell you. It's 10:20, AM-750 WSB here with Paul Gonzales, our exclusive weather center forecast from Rome meteorologist Kirk Mellish. Clear tonight, low 36 in the suburbs, 45 in the city. Tomorrow, a gorgeous day, deluxe, primo. Blue skies, high temperature 72, and the low temperature will be 49 degrees tomorrow night. And our guest right now is Dr. Robert Butterworth, who has some strong opinions about folks who believe that kids dressing up as ghosts and goblins and even devils. He has a problem with people who believe that that's wrong. And our next call is going to be Van on a car phone. Hello, Van. You're on AM-750 WSB.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
All right.
Good evening, Dr. Butterworth.
Hi, Van.
I enjoy your show. The comment you made earlier, though, about an individual whose parents have told him that dressing up as ghosts and goblins, he becomes preoccupied with it. I don't disagree with that, but I was not allowed to dress up as anything bizarre, such as a witch or a ghost, something that was not real. We could dress up as clowns or hobos or something like that, but coming from a very religious background, I never became preoccupied with that, and I feel that's because of the stability that my parents installed in me when I was a child. I learned right from wrong. I learned that those things may exist, but that's up to me to decide that. And I went from there, and I've never had a problem with it. I went to a Bible study last year, and it shocked me that out of 20 people in the room, every one of them raised their hand and said no, they would not let their children dress up, and I had to just simply get up and walk out of the room. That's ludicrous. I can't believe people think that.
Thank you for your comment.
Well, thank you.
Next call will be Rod in Clarkston. Hello, Rod. You're on AM-750 WSB.
Yes. I want to ask the doctor, does he know anything about Devil's Night?
In Detroit?
Yes.
In Detroit?
Well, it has spread to most of the major metropolitan cities in Michigan now.
And also last year, Halloween also turned violent in New York City. But that, as well as Detroit. But the problem with Devil's Night is it doesn't really have to do with kids dressing up as creatures. It has to do with a lot of teenagers that have a lot of anger and frustration hiding behind costumes to get away with illegal acts. And that's a completely different thing. And any of the people that are caught setting fire should be arrested. I mean, I have no problems with that. But that's a completely different phenomena than children dressing up as whatever they want to be and going out trick-or-treating. This has a lot to do with frustrations that have been building up all year, and it's almost like society's way of saying, okay, go at it, but hopefully this year they'll have enough police around to try to keep it from beginning.
Anything else?
Yes, well, I talked about this in one of my classes in college up at Michigan, and we talked about it as an outlet, as a role reversal day where people could, like, vent their frustrations.
It probably, but it's probably, it shows that when that happens in a city, that's actually telling us that's a symptom of some serious problems. It could be unemployment, it could be frustration, it could be not able to, feel that they're fit in, or a lot of anger that's deep-seated. So to solve this thing, you have to find the cure. You have to first find the disease, not just look at the symptoms, which is trying to burn down the city.
Hey, thank you, Rod, for your call. And that state of Missouri, Doctor, the show me state, I'm wondering what that point of view is out there. Mary in Fulton, Missouri, you're on AM-750
How are you?
I'm fine.
I have a hard time getting in touch with you.
Yeah, we got a lot of busy lines here.
I think you do, but look, Halloween is Halloween. And why bring up all the subjects of Satanism? Let the kids have a little bit of fun. I teach up at school, and the pressure these kids are under, you don't have any idea.
Have they had pressure not to participate in Halloween?
No. Why? Are they doing that someplace else?
Oh, yeah, I guess you haven't had a problem in Missouri.
No. We look forward to the little hobgoblins.
All right, Mary, thank you for checking in with us. Next call is going to be Mike in Atlanta. Hello, Mike. You're on AM-750 WSB.
Hello, hola, Pablo.
Oh, hola. ¿Cómo está?
All holidays are what you make of them. As a matter of fact, Christmas started out as a pagan holiday, too, you know.
Yeah, I think the Yule log, doesn't that go back to the Druids, Doctor?
Yeah, and Thanksgiving goes back to a Jewish harvest festival. And we don't even want to talk about what Arbor Day came from.
Oh, let's do.
I think it was one time where the pagans worshipped the trees as a living god, so they would dance around the trees.
Oh, and how about the parents who buy their kids little Easter baskets and the little eggs and the rabbit? That, of course, goes back to the pagan goddess Aster, the goddess of sex.
Well, the point is, and I think Mike said something that, and Mary was also, they were talking common sense. And that's basically what I'm trying to talk. You don't have to have a PhD to say, hey, listen, it doesn't seem right that a kid could dress up and then become Satan just because he had a little mask on for a couple hours. But, your other caller said something, and I wanted to make a point, and I didn't have a chance to make it, and that was, I think parents have the right to tell their children, hey, listen, I don't want you to dress up as a goblin. You can dress up as Zorro or one of the Ninja Turtles. That's okay. That's the parent's responsibility. The thing that drives me crazy is when these religious groups go into the schools and say, hey, listen, you can't have the kids have Halloween parties because this is a separation of church and state issue. So we can't have Halloween parties in the school because when the kids have Halloween parties, they're actually celebrating a religion.
And that ain't so.
Separation of church and state, I think it's for separation of kids from fun.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
I wanted to add one more thing on that about what a previous caller said about trick-or-treat for UNICEF.
Right.
Several years ago, they were selling their Christmas cards in the post office, which is prohibited for all other businesses. And after it was shown that UNICEF was indeed a business, and they were supplying combat medical packages for a lot of communist terrorists.
Okay, all right, that's off the subject, Mike, but I thank you very much for your call. And let's go to Tennessee, city of Clayton. Hello, Bob, you're on WSB here in Atlanta.
Hey, well, it's Clinton, but not Clayton, but that's all right. One thing, the issue, I think, about kids trick-or-treating. My son, I trick-or-treated when I was a kid, and I've taken my son out trick-or-treating, and like one of the other previous callers, I just am more concerned about, letting them know that we won't wear devil's outfits and things like that simply because of our Christian belief, and we don't want to endorse it. But that's the only reason. It's not because I think my little son's going to turn into a little Satan or anything down the road. But I think one issue that needs to be addressed, though, is the fact that the Satanists do claim Halloween as their high holiday.
Okay, and we'll get our guest to answer that question or make a response to that point of view that you made in just a moment. We got to take a short break. I know the lines are terribly busy, and I know many of you have heard from your preacher not to let your kids dress up like devils because you are making a tribute to the devil and your kids are going to turn into Satanists and dance around naked and do all that kind of stuff. Our guest is saying baloney, no statistics to back up that point of view. And we'll be back. If you want to join us, I got a line for you in Atlanta, finally, 872-0750. Outside of Atlanta, 1-800-WSB-TALK. If you've been getting a busy signal, go to your phone and call us now.
Sunday, Los Angeles, California. The Ram, the Atlanta Falcon, and the hits just keep on coming. Catch the Tailgate Show at 2:05. Kickoff at 4.
Remember, you'll enjoy the game more if you turn down the TV sound. Use that mute button and hear Larry Munson and Jeff Van Note exclusively on AM-750 WSB.
Now is a special time to visit your Estee Lauder Beauty Advisor. Because with any choice of $12.50 or more from the Estee Lauder collection, she'll treat you to a special gift with 6 exclusive items valued at $25, including Knowing Body Lotion and a lipstick. Estee Lauder, live in our world. One to a customer, please.
Discover it at Macy's. We're a part of your life.
Guaranteed. Get the absolute lowest Honda price. Willett Honda will beat any competitor's advertised price. Just bring in Saturday or Sunday's Atlanta Journal-Constitution of Willett Honda's advertised new car special with any competitor's comparably equipped advertised vehicle. Now at both Willett Honda locations, buy a new 91 Honda CRX. Incredible fuel economy. 52 miles per gallon highway EPA estimate. Just $83.99. A new 91 Accord LX sedan with automatic and air. 10 to choose at just $14,499. A new 91 Prelude SI with sunroof, only $12,766. And now a special introductory offer on a new 91 Accord SE 4-door sedan with air, power sunroof, automatic, fully loaded, including leather interior. Take $2,500 off. Willett gives you the absolute lowest price on a new Honda. Guaranteed. Sale ends Monday, 9 p.m. at Willett Honda Morrow, opposite South Lake Mall, and Willett Honda West Douglasville, exit 8 off I-20.
Depend on WSB Atlanta.
It's our Falcons and the Los Angeles Rams. You'll catch all the action beginning with the Tailgate Show, 2:05 this Sunday afternoon, right here on AM-750 WSB, Atlanta's leader for news. Calls in a moment. Right now with a quick news update, here's Lisa Campbell.
To a barricaded gunman. He's holed up in a building on Highway 42. Details are sketchy at this hour. Of course, AM-750 WSB will follow that story. The government now has spending authority until at least next Wednesday. This evening, President Bush signed a stopgap spending measure to avert another government shutdown at midnight. Meantime, Congress is still trying to hammer out a budget compromise.
Western Civilization, Atlanta, Georgia.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I feel that Halloween there is not satanic. I feel like it's fun.
Yeah, I guess that's the bottom line, huh?
Yeah, I'm just calling to get that point across there.
Okay, good to hear from Murfreesboro. Great town. Before the break, Doctor, somebody mentioned that Halloween is the day that Satanists use for their holiday.
Let's give the listeners out there a couple little tips to help their kids, to make sure their kids don't turn into kids that are preoccupied with witches and Satan. And a good time to do it is when little Johnny or little Mary, 7 or 8, decide to get their costumes and say they do decide to become a witch. Great opportunity to sit the child down and say, okay, you're dressing like this. a witch. And, you know, hundreds of years ago, there were witches. And these people really thought they had powers to do bad things. But they don't. And there's still some around now. They're not many. But, you know, you're having fun. But just remember that if you ever see someone that talks about this thing, talks about being it, just laugh at them and say, listen, if you're so powerful, let me see you lift up a rock.
Yeah, I love it. Next call is Dan in Lithia Springs. You're on AM-750 WSB.
Yeah, I was wondering if your guest was familiar with the studies done by the Attorney General of the state of Texas, Jim Maddox.
What did he say?
Basically, you know, the last time I heard him publicly was after the slaying was down in Texas of the University of Texas students, and basically that's it's been a segment of crime he's been concerned with, you know, since recently after he took office a few years back, and that they are compiling statistics in the state of Texas, and they are quite worried about that kind of activity. But, you know, tying it into your subject of Halloween, if you've read the writings of Alexander Crowley or Anton LaVey, you know they do claim this holiday as their high holidays, and that there are elements of society who capitalize it to draw young people, you know, into their particular belief, faith, cult, however you want to look at it. And I think that is something that society needs to be aware of and knows very little about.
Any comment, Doctor?
Well, I'll just quote from the study again. One of those panelists at the meeting of religious scientists said,
this isn't religion. This is from a...
The growing public anxiety over Satanism on news reports of ritual killings and blood-drinking cults, often given greater credence by overzealous police investigators, as well as rumors by fundamentalists and teenagers' use of rock symbols. Let's go back to this big case that we've been hearing about, with the music and the devil's messages being inserted in the music. I mean, this was a big case. All the fundamentalists were saying, hey, listen, this is proof. Well, the case was tried and the verdict was given. Were they innocent or guilty? They were innocent. There was no evidence. No evidence. I keep hearing people saying...
What's that to do with what I just said? The Attorney General of Texas has come out publicly...
Yeah, because he's running for office, but he hasn't... There's no study.
Have you contacted the Attorney General's office of the state of Texas?
The Attorney General is probably doing his best to try to talk about this issue, but in terms of
haven't you?
It hasn't gotten in any journals.
Have you ever contacted any police?
Anton LaVey and his group don't even believe in Satan and don't even believe in God or any of that kind of stuff. They're basically atheists who want to have a good time. Okay, I guess you have no comment on that. Our next caller will be, calm down now, Dan. Dan's fired up, you know, blood pressure.
Lighten up now, huh?
Lighten up. And let's see, I guess we better take a break, and then we'll get right back, and we'll go to Arkansas and all over the country, Atlanta and North Carolina. Our guest in Los Angeles, California. We got a nationwide program going on here tonight, and he is Dr. Robert Butterworth, who basically is talking good common sense about what to teach your kids so that they'll grow up to be fine American citizens. 872-0750 is the number in Atlanta. Anywhere else, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Don't forget, we've got some great guests coming up, like the ones you've heard tonight during our new fall season. Charles Carrault, you know, who does that great program on Sunday morning. He's going to be down here in the studio on November the 9th. Also, remember, on that same evening, the student who started the protest in Tiananmen Square in China is going to be here in the studio. He's got a death warrant on his head from the Chinese government. George Will, the conservative columnist, is going to be joining us live. Those are just a few of the people that you can expect here on Sound Off with the best guest anywhere on talk radio. It's 10:40, and this is AM-750 WSB.
What you won't get at Marietta Toyota. At Marietta Toyota, you won't get salesmen who confuse selling cars with selling swampland in Florida. Nor will you get financing that's so unbelievable, even the banks don't believe it. At Marietta Toyota, you won't get assaulted with idle questions like, so, has your mother-in-law always lived with you, or did you just never leave home? You won't get put off, put down, or put to sleep. And hey, you won't get to drive cross-country just to get a great price. We're right here in Cobb County. You won't get treated like a number, an alien, or a millionaire. Unless, of course, you are one. At Marietta Toyota, you won't be given false promises, fast talk, or forced friendliness. Fact is, we do business the way it's meant to be done, fairly and honestly. At Marietta Toyota, you won't just buy our cars, you buy our trust. So if you want to get ripped off, ticked off, and stressed out, don't come to Marietta Toyota. Oh, and we're not on Cobb Parkway 2 miles south of the Big Chicken. Just kidding. Yes, we are.
Kirstie Alley is Marjorie Turner.
You are correct.
By nature, she's a shy person.
I had an affair.
A woman with class.
I really do.
Shop everywhere you can, but before you make a purchase, compare what you have found at the Golden Diamond Source. And you'll be glad you did, because only the Golden Diamond Source will guarantee the quality of our diamonds before you make a purchase.
Only the best will do.
Plus, the Golden Diamond Source guarantees against the loss of your diamond due to workmanship or material.
Dazzle me with Golden Diamond Source diamonds forever.
And you will save money, because only the Golden Diamond Source guarantees the lowest price or your money refunded within 30 days of your purchase.
The challenge is on.
So learn what hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers have already learned over the years. You save every day at the Golden Diamond Source, your original diamond broker.
The Golden Diamond Source, located on Roswell Road, just north of the perimeter, and next to Cub Foods on Jimmy Carter Boulevard, just east of I-85.
We have an exclusive panel of news experts to give you extra insight into the top stories. AM-750 WSB, Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
AM-750 WSB. Our guest, contemporary psychologist, Dr. Robert Butterworth. He is concerned that parents are just a little bit too uptight about letting their kids dress up for Halloween, saying that it's a time for fun. It's a time for kids to release a little tension. And our next call is going to be Elizabeth in Marietta. And Elizabeth, you're on AM-750 WSB. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. You?
Good.
Good program.
Thank you.
Well, my concern, I'm against Halloween. I didn't used to be, but I am now, is only because of the safety of the children. And what I mean by that is because when they stop putting poison and raisin blades and stuff like that on the candy, it hurts the children.
Yeah, and that is a reasonable concern. Of course, you would, I'm sure, doctor, tell parents don't let your kids eat any candy that isn't wrapped up.
Yeah, and there's another movement to give kids, instead of candy, stickers and nickels and things like that. But, boy, I'm going to get into trouble now. Watch your phones light up. I have a study from the Los Angeles Times 2 years ago, and it's titled Halloween Distortion. Sociologist finds perils of trick-or-treating have been greatly exaggerated. And he says, in more than 2 decades, there has not been a single death or a severe injury caused by Halloween sadists. Now, this was 2 years ago, of course. But, you know, one kid in the whole city finds a razor blade in a candy bar, the whole city panics. But look at the numbers. I'm not saying be careful, but I'm just saying that I'm just looking at a study, and I'm just telling you what it says.
Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts.
You got it.
And thank you very much for your call, Elizabeth. Let's go out to Benton, Arkansas. Benton, Arkansas, Jules. I can't say that I have ever been to Benton. Where is that, Jules?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're on the radio.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
As I started to say a while ago, I want to make a statement, then I'll get off about Halloween. First, I don't believe any of us should endorse it or to use it because of the fact that it is a form of witchcraft. And, of course, the Bible does talk about witchcraft. And one other thing, we all, and that includes me, we all should be honoring God's holy days instead of birthdays, Christmas, Halloween, Easter. Those holidays that we do honor, we should not be honored. We should be honoring God's holy days.
Which day is that?
And
which day?
Let somebody else have it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the good two-way discussion there with you, Jules.
Paul.
Yes.
I hope, I'm sure you and I are both going to go to heaven.
Oh,
I hope when we both go to...
We're Catholics. Of course we're going to heaven.
Well, anyhow, Paul, I hope when we do go to heaven that God has a sense of humor, because I don't want to be up there if you can't celebrate birthdays and holidays and things like that.
Well, you know, frankly, Doctor, I think Jesus had a hell of a sense of humor, if you pardon the pun. I mean, what kind of A great sense of humor, is it, for your first miracle to be changing water into wine to liven up the party?
You got it.
Next call is Henry in Mableton. Henry, you're on AM-750 WSB.
You're masters of deception and distortion, both of you.
Oh.
Sociologists and psychologists this day and time, they don't have the answer. Jesus Christ is the answer. The Bible says, do not take on the appearance of evil. And as I say again, if people would just get out the Word of God and start reading the Word of God, that they would see that it is spiritism, and it is nothing but demonic, and there's no good that comes from it.
Well, wait a minute. One of our other callers has a comment. Hang on. Don't go away, Henry.
Well, you can't fool me. I know you're working for Satan.
Well, we're involved in spiritual warfare right now. It says in the Bible, of course, we war not against flesh and blood. And I'm praying for both of you gentlemen because you have, you're in darkness. You're not in...
Oh, how dare you to be so damn arrogant to tell me what I am, you fool. Get off the phone. AM-750 WSB. Would you like to make a comment, Doctor?
Well, Paul, here it is again. And I'm not trying to be light on or a joke about this last caller. I mean, we're in spiritual warfare. When you tell kids that, I mean, what do you think that does? I mean, kids already have a little, kind of a tenacious hold on reality anyhow. Now, when you say, gee, the forces of darkness are out invading us, I mean, you think a kid's going to be comfortable turning off his light when he slips in bed? I mean, you know, I get frightened because of that. That's what's frightening me during Halloween, are these people that are putting these scary things in these kids' heads, and then the kids are really having a hard time because they don't understand it.
Yeah, they're having nightmares and maybe even developing phobias.
Yeah, and if we just let them go through Halloween and don't make a big thing out of it, you know, you don't have to like it. Just go through it. The next day it's over and go on.
Well, I just don't like people who don't know me and they don't know you and assume that we are messengers of the devil. Hey, I ain't working for the devil. He hasn't given me a dime.
Neither has he given me a dime.
Our next caller is Jennifer. Jennifer, you don't think I'm working for the devil, do you?
No, I don't, Paul. I enjoy your show as always, but sometimes your callers get me a little bent out of shape.
Well, you know, what gets me is, you know, I'm a pretty mellow guy. I hardly ever cut anybody off. It's very, very rare. But, I mean, when somebody is so arrogant to call me up who doesn't know me and tell me that I'm a messenger of evil, yeah, I pay my taxes, I give money to charity, I go to church from time to time, hey.
Yeah. I agree completely. I wish a lot of these people who are getting so concerned about Halloween would just lighten up and let children be children. Halloween is supposed to be fun. I celebrated Halloween for many years. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and she's excited that they're going to have Halloween at her school and have a party, and the kids are going to dress up in costumes. And I seem to recall from the study some years back that Halloween has grown out of a tradition that started many hundreds of years ago that was designed to scare away evil spirits.
I think it predates Satan, doesn't it, Doctor?
Well, what happened was that was originally the old calendar. The last day of the year was the 31st of October, and that was the night when the spirits prowled. And the reason that people lit bonfires and also left food out on the porches was to keep the spirits from coming into the house, because these people really thought that the spirits were out there amongst everyone because it was the last day of the year.
And, you know, speaking of holidays, Christmas is on, of course, December the 25th, and I have an idea, Doctor, that is really the pagan day of the winter solstice, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, the Catholic, the Pope, I think it was Pope Gregory, had a really brilliant idea. He came in and he started trying to convert people to Christianity, and he said, wait a minute, these holidays are built in. So instead of getting rid of them, because they'll still celebrate them, let's just keep them going, but just change the names.
So actually, the December the 25th day is a pagan holiday.
Yeah, but now they renamed it.
And another one too. We're talking about Halloween specifically tonight. Halloween, as I recall, in the Catholic Church, isn't that All Souls Day?
Uh-huh.
Which is a religious holiday as well as Halloween.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for your call,
Jennifer. Things up now that you've mentioned Christmas too, Paul.
Oh, well, Jennifer, bless your heart. Thank you for calling me.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
Thanks. Good night.
It's 10:51, and AM-750 WSB's exclusive weather center forecast from our own meteorologist Kirk Mellish. Clear and cool tonight. Low 38 in the subs and 45 in the city. Tomorrow, blue skies, high 72, low 49. Sunday's going to be a nice day. Partly cloudy, high 74, low 55. Currently 55 degrees right now. And this is Paul Gonzales with my guest, Dr. Robert Butterworth. And this is AM 750 WSB.
backwards at close, acting like they're coming in. Miller back. They're coming after him. Miller going to throw a long bomb. Long bomb. Touchdown!
Stand up with your hometown team. Stand up with the new back-in-black high-flying Atlanta Falcons. A word of caution, however, don't plan on sitting down. In the Falcons' backyard each Sunday, you'll see NFL excitement at its best. You can count on being out of your seat, cheering and enjoying Falcon football.
By the 40, my God, Deion Sanders is going to score! My God!
Don't be left out of all this fun and madness. Join the Falcons in their stand against some of the best in the NFL. Because the Falcons' backyard will be full for many games, you should order your tickets today. So come on, Atlanta, let's stand up together this season at the stadium. Call now, 249-6400, or stop by one of the convenient Ticketmaster Center locations.
Strange things happen to people when they come to Acura Carland in Duluth.
Well, we thought this was strange.
Real strange.
We really did think the first thing we'd see would be some guy, you know, with bad hair and a blank staring girl petting a pit bull sitting on the hood of a car.
We were wrong.
Real wrong. Acura Carland has very normal salespeople. They're nice.
They give you straight answers.
Not double talk. They give you solid, fair prices.
And there's no one screaming, volume, volume, volume.
Oh, none of that great giggly wiggly stuff.
Oh, it's like a business deal.
It is.
You know you want an Acura.
Then you want to know where you'll get the best price.
Don't forget service.
Which you'll hardly ever need.
When you buy an Acura.
Exactly.
So go to Acura Carland.
Really? I mean, they can't come to you, so get a move on.
Now a highly paid professional will tell you how to get there.
Take 85 to the Pleasant Hill exit and look for us on Satellite Boulevard behind Gwinnett Place Mall. Visit the Acura of Acura dealers. Acura Carland. Easy to find. Even easier to buy. Yeah, pretty strange. But don't worry. You'll get used to it.
And no pit bulls.
They get my fur up.
And smell.
See Acura Carland now for huge savings on all 1990 Acura Legends.
Mom, Dad, I think we need to have a little talk.
What we do?
Now, you know I'm not one to pry.
My diary.
But while I was cleaning up the kitchen, well, I found some of the groceries you bought yesterday.
Oh, your mother did the shopping.
Now, far be it from me to try to tell you how you can spend your money, but you hadn't only bought the wrong brand of items, you didn't even buy them from Kroger.
Well, they're not ours. They're the Johnsons.
Now, let me explain something. All this month at Kroger during the Children's Challenge, if you buy specially marked items we usually buy anyway, they'll make a donation to our local children's hospital. Now, don't you think that's a little more important than a whole jar of pork sausages?
Well, she bought them.
Oh, blame it on me. Now, those Henderson parents don't waste their money.
Uncle Ben's Original Recipe Rice, 6 ounces, $1.49. Assorted Totino's Pizzas, 9.8 to 10.6 ounces, $1.19. Green Giant one-serve frozen vegetables, 4.5 to 5.5 ounces, 75 cents.
Monday afternoon, the Gary McKee Hometown Radio Show hits the streets again, 4 to 7. You will be with us. And now more of Paul Gonzales on AM-750, WSB.
Thank you so kindly there. Right now it's 10:55. I wonder how his wife's garage sale went today. I heard a little bit of it. He actually used the radio for his garage sale. Boy, what a capitalist, huh? He's fun, Gary McKee, along with Carla D. Kidwell and Dave from Conyers and the whole bunch. Right now we have Dr. Robert Butterworth with us, one of the most popular people, especially in the media in the Los Angeles area. Speaks out on a lot of different issues. And tonight we're talking about Halloween and how it's a harmless little holiday. And lighten up, friends. If you dress your kids up like witches, they're not going to become an Anton LaVey and worship the devil. And our next call is going to be David in Forest Park. Hello, David. You're on WSB.
Hello. How you doing?
All right, David.
You said something earlier about being a Christian yourself. Was that true, or are you just making light?
Well, I don't normally talk about my religious beliefs on the radio, but I have mentioned before from time to time that I was raised a Catholic. Or some caller a while back said, Catholic? I knew you weren't a Christian.
Oh, okay. Well,
Catholics really aren't Christians, are they, David?
I don't really want to get into it right now.
No, because I
find out your views on it.
Well, what's your religion, David? Since we're getting awfully personal here and asking questions that don't have anything to do with the subject, what is your religion?
I'm a Christian.
Well, what kind of Christian?
I don't associate myself with any denomination. I believe that I'm covered by the blood of Christ.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean you don't put any money in the plate at church?
Oh, yes, sir, I do.
Oh, well, then you do go to a church.
Yes, I do go to a church, but I don't associate myself with, say, Episcopal or Presbyterian or anything.
Well, why were you concerned if I was a Christian? What if I had told...
Because you mentioned something before about being a Christian, and I was just wondering if you were making light of...
Oh, I wouldn't make light of my religious beliefs, no. But I'm curious, what if I would have said, no, I'm not a Christian, I'm a Hindu? Would that make any difference to you?
No, sir, it wouldn't. I was just...
okay, all right, okay. You know, there's sometimes when people will call you up and ask you your religion, and they're arrogant, and you're not that way, and I guess if you want to know about me, that's fine.
Okay, I'm far from arrogant, but I just want to say that, like you was talking about earlier, that Halloween was started by the Druids in France, England, and Ireland.
Right, you're right.
Okay, they sacrificed humans, and it's believed that they did sacrifice humans in a festival called Samhain. And in the 700s, the Roman Catholic Church had a holiday called All Saints Day, and they combined All Saints Day and this festival Samhain.
Yeah, they still have All Saints Day in the Catholic Church.
They combined that into Halloween.
So?
Which, I mean, you can find it in any encyclopedia. It says that they combined
in fact,
pagan and Christian belief into one festival.
You're right, and do you also know that that the day that we celebrate Christmas is the day of the winter solstice, which was practiced by pagan religions? Do you know that?
Yes, sir. The more I find out about this stuff, I've quit honoring holidays now.
Yeah, but why not just have a little fun? It's not going to change your faith. You sound like a person who's not going to be swayed.
Well, no, sir, I'm not going to be swayed, but my Bible tells me not to be partakers of evil things.
Well, what about Easter? Don't you celebrate the Christ rising?
No, sir, because I believe, like I said before, that Christians have taken in too many of the world's views on things.
Okay.
Paul, can I ask David a question?
Tell you what, you can make a comment, because we have to break for the news, but...
Okay, maybe after the news, somebody can call in who really believes that Halloween should be banned and tell me what evil things kids are doing when they dress up, they knock on their neighbor's door and say trick-or-treat, and they get a candy bar.
Great. And the number in Atlanta is 872-0750. By the way, thank you for calling, David. Outside of the area, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Our guest is Dr. Robert Butterworth, psychologist. Don't forget to listen to the Wes Minner Show bright and early on Monday afternoon when I wake up around 1 o'clock. You know me, and he's always got the conservative point of view, and it's right here on WSB. Rapidly. If you're outside of the area, the number's 1-800-WSB-TALK. And before we get back to the calls, what if some kid, I know this is offbeat or whatever, but what if some kid dressed up like Saddam Hussein?
Well, don't take that so lightly, because we've been listening to what kids have been saying, and it looks like 2 or 3 of the most popular characters this year will be either the Ninja Turtles, Bart Simpson, or Saddam Hussein. And I'm a little worried about that because, you know, a kid dressing up as a witch or a goblin, we don't have to worry about them going after witches or goblins when they take their costumes off. But, you know, this thing where kids are wanting to go after, look like Saddam Hussein, I'm afraid they're going to find the little kids that look like they're from the Middle East and maybe beat them up. So I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, and that's an interesting sidelight, certainly something positive. Next call will be John in Snellville. And, John, you're on AM-750 WSB. Welcome.
Yeah. I think we probably have some misnomers. And this may have been mentioned earlier this evening, I don't know, but Halloween we consider to be a holiday?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does the word holiday come from?
Holy day.
Well, I think
that's where it comes from.
Okay, but you'd really have to stretch Halloween, which has to do, and, you know, argue whatever you want, whether we're taking it too serious or too lightly. But to take a day that everyone recognizes as something that has to do with witchcraft and say that it's holy.
Well, wait a minute now. That is convoluted thinking, you have to admit. Is George Washington's birthday a holy day? I mean, George was a fine American along with the people who put together this country. He was brilliant, but George Washington was not exactly a holy man. I mean, you know, wine dealers followed him around every day because he liked to drink a lot and liked to run around with women.
Okay, well...
So what, that logic is purely all wet, man.
Maybe we shouldn't call them holidays then, or holy days.
What difference does it make?
Well, you have to go back to the root of whatever word if you're going to really fully understand the word and the meaning of...
But what power of harm does a word have? It's the usage. The word holiday means to people today, the day you get off of work or the day you get off of school. Nobody uses that and has any kind of holy connotation to it. I mean, we're just picking on the usage of a word here.
Well, okay, let's take a little bit further as far as...
You mean we're going to get even more ridiculous?
Well, no, but I think to call Halloween something and say we need to lighten up on it or be desensitized by something, which is what happens. Now, not all of us end up desensitized. A lot of us grew up, we dressed up in costumes and didn't know the difference, and it didn't affect us until we heard a program such as this that we had people that were in favor of and people that were against, and each of them brought out their own reasons. I think any time, though, that you have something that borders on but yet has enough truth in it, you have to be very careful that you do know the facts.
Well, now, wait a minute. If we're going to use your line of reasoning here, then you're not going to be able to celebrate Easter because you know where that word comes from.
Well, true.
Easter comes from Aster, which was the sex goddess of the pagan peoples of old.
Well,
so are you going to use the same logic and say let's not celebrate Easter and let's not call it Easter?
Well,
but Paul, he has a point, and I what I can do is answer his question or whatever it is by saying this, knowing the facts. And hey, listen, Halloween's a great time when a little youngster's dressed as a witch to talk to the child about the facts. So they'll be inoculated from becoming whatever they could be when they're teenagers if everyone's afraid of that happening. So in a sense, sure, it's okay to tell children reality. Tell them that there's a small group of people that actually believe that for them Halloween is every day. But, I mean, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point that scares me is that a lot of people want to define the name, define the word and everything, but the bottom line is the kids miss out on having fun. And that makes me upset when kids miss out on having fun, because a lot of our kids nowadays don't have very much fun. And I don't want them starting at 19 to start committing suicide because they don't see that life is much fun anymore, and that's why kids commit suicide.
Well, what's your reaction to that, John?
It's not like Halloween is the only excuse that we have for fun. One other thing, as far as Christians and Catholics not being Christians, which maybe a couple people have mentioned, there are people who claim to be Christians who probably do a lot of acts that aren't Christian acts. I would say that probably the majority of Catholics act like Christians, talk like Christians, maybe even some of those more than Christians, even though the religion of Catholic may not be considered Christian as much as it may be papal or pagan.
Now, what is that? What's the bottom line? I didn't follow you. Christian, basically, I would think means Christ-like.
Right.
Okay. You could be in any religion. You could be a Hindu and be Christ-like.
Right. That's exactly my point. That Catholics can act Christ-like, even though the religion or the basis of the Catholic Church, some people feel, is not founded on or based around Christ or the Christ-likeness part.
But John, let's, again, back to the facts. The original Christian church, and you know, I don't care whether somebody is a Christian. I happen to believe, which is not exactly what the Catholic Church believes, I happen to believe that anybody who tries to do the right thing, no matter what their religion is going to be judged with fairness, and they have just as good a chance as anybody to getting to whatever heaven is. But the Catholic Church was the original Catholic Church. Before, if it weren't for the Catholic Church, there wouldn't be any Presbyterian Church or Baptist Church or Methodist Church. And to call somebody a Catholic, not a Christian, is ludicrous. If it weren't for the Catholic Church, there wouldn't be any Protestant churches. How can you say the Catholic Church isn't Christian?
You don't think that that the organization that went out from the disciples was a Christian organization?
Well, that was the Catholic Church. Hey, the apostles were Catholics. They weren't Baptists.
How were they Catholic?
You know what this reminds me of, Paul?
What?
You know,
intellectual masturbation?
No, it's worse than that. You know, here we are, and we started out by defining what a holiday is. It reminds me, and this is off the subject, but it's not, of these people that were going after these records. They were examining the records. They were playing them backwards. They were playing them sideways. They were listening to them underwater. And the teenagers that they were worried about weren't even listening to the words anyhow. They were just jumping up and down and dancing. This is, again, where all these adults come in to examine every little thing, and the kids have no idea. They're just going out having a good time. We're picking things to death.
John, we have some disagreements, but I do appreciate your calling, and I hope you call me again.
Okay.
And have a nice weekend.
Okay.
All righty. Well, we've had an interesting lineup tonight. We got into the Catholic Church with Father Malachi Martin, and now we're talking about Halloween and the devil, and I guess this is religion night. I don't know. Our next caller is going to be Tommy in Surfside Beach, South Carolina. That sounds like a nice place. Where is that? I bet that's on the water, right, Tommy?
Right on the water, as a matter of fact.
Did y'all get slapped by Hugo last year?
We sure did.
That's when a lot of people in South Carolina started listening to WSB. Maybe you were one of them.
Well, I'm going to be frank with you. I just started listening tonight. This is the first time I've ever listened to really listened intently to a talk show, and the first time I've ever called in.
Well, I'm glad, Tommy. It's nice to meet you.
But it's been interesting. It's nice to hear from you, gentlemen. We got obviously we got a really interesting subject going on here. I've been trying to do a little bit of research into this while I was listening to some of the comments. I like some of the comments that have been made about Halloween as far as a holiday. You know, I think it's important to remember that the actual name for the holiday given by the Christians to counteract the pagan holiday was All Hallows Eve, standing for the day before All Hallows Day or All Saints Day, being November 1st. Okay, right there is an answer to the Christians to an extent. Now, I'm a Surfside, I'm a Presbyterian PCA. My pastor stood up in a church last year and had no qualm in saying that he was going to celebrate with his child, but celebrating All Hallows Eve, okay, the day before All Saints Day, not celebrating as an evil holiday. I think that's an answer to an extent right there. It allows children to have fun without glorifying evil.
Well, you know, Tommy, the thing that worries me is that the word evil, I never hear any kids when it comes to Halloween talk about evil. It's the only people that are talking about evil when it comes to Halloween are the adults. But I'll tell you, if the adults keep talking about evil, the kids are going to catch it. So, you know, that's the thing that, you know, I do talk to kids. I talk to a lot of kids. And none of the kids, when we go to the stores and we look at the Halloween costumes, they don't bring up the word evil. It's the adults that are preoccupied with evil.
I think the kids, if they're the way they were when I was growing up, they're not thinking about evil. They're thinking about how much candy they can get.
You got it.
Thanks for your call, Tommy. It's an interesting point. And, you know, it just seems like maybe some of the adults, they don't know how to have fun anymore, and they're jealous. They don't want the kids to have any fun either. And we'll be back with our great guest, just speaking in common sense about lightening up, folks. We're talking about Halloween. There are many people who think it's terrible, and if your kid goes out and dresses up like a witch, the next thing you know, he's going to be worshiping Anton LaVey, or even worse, Satan himself. Does that make any sense? Is that fanaticism? It's 11:18, and this is AM-750 WSB.
Saturday on AM-750 WSB. Georgia and Vanderbilt between the hedges and ready to call all the action. Larry Munson. The tailgate show gets underway at 10:30 with the kickoff at 1 right here on AM-750 WSB.
Is the solution to all of our problems in America, like crime and juvenile delinquency, the elimination of households led by women? Pretty radical thought, isn't it? Hi, this is Wes Minner. Well, the author of that radical thought will be on my talk show Monday afternoon just after 1 o'clock, and he'll take your calls. Now more of Paul Gonzales and Sound Off on AM 750 WSB. I hope you join Minner's Army, Paul. I'm kind of getting into the habit of sound off, 1, 2, 3, 4, sound off.
Oh, Wes, one of these days we're going to be reading about you like Napoleon. I wonder how Wes is going to dress up for Halloween. Maybe he'll dress up as Ted Kennedy, a liberal. It's 11:19, just for fun, right? It's 11:19, AM-750, WSB's exclusive Weather Center forecast from our own meteorologist, Kirk Mellish. Clear and quite cool tonight, low 38. That's not quite cool, that's cold. That's 38 in the subs, 45 in the city. Tomorrow, blue skies, high 72. Low tomorrow night, 49. Sunday's going to be a nice day, partly cloudy, with a high temperature of 74 degrees. And we have a great guest on who's speaking basically common sense and bringing you the facts about Satanism and Halloween and whatever. And he is Dr. Robert Butterworth, a contemporary psychologist. See the people in our studio here, the people behind the controls are clapping their hands for you.
So, well,
take care.
That's all I had to say.
All right. And we'll be right back with our special guest, Dr. Robert Butterworth. Deals with a lot of kids and helps people with their problems and basically is preaching, if you'll pardon that word, a common sense attitude. And, hey, do what you want. It's America. It's freedom. But at least think about what you're doing with your kids. If you repress them and you start telling them about evil and maybe you tell them that they're evil, well, that's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, in my opinion. It's 11:40, and this is AM-750 WSB.
Backwards are close, acting like they're coming in. Miller back, they're coming after him. Miller gonna throw a long bomb, touchdown!
Stand up with your hometown team. Stand up with the new back-in-black high-flying Atlanta Falcons. A word of caution, however, don't plan on sitting down. In the Falcons' backyard each Sunday, you'll see NFL excitement at its best. You can count on being out of your seat, cheering and enjoying Falcon football.
By the 40, my God, Deion Sanders is going to score! My God!
Don't be left out of all this fun and madness. Join the Falcons in their stand against some of the best in the NFL. Because the Falcons' backyard will be full for many games, you should order your tickets today. So come on, Atlanta, let's stand up together this season at the stadium. Call now, 249-6400, or stop by one of the convenient Ticketmaster Center locations.
Now is a special time to visit your Estee Lauder Beauty Advisor. Because with any choice of $12.50 or more from the Estee Lauder collection, she'll treat you to a special gift with 6 exclusive items valued at $25, including Knowing Body Lotion and a lipstick. Estee Lauder, live in our world. One to a customer, please.
Discover it at Macy's. We're a part of your life.
Car buying and selling has never been easier thanks to community auction resale services or cars.
And once you see how easy it is, you'll wonder why you ever tried to buy or sell a car on your own.
Cars is a public auto auction. Some of the services we offer include vehicle appraisal, extended service contracts, bank financing, even mechanical inspection.
But that's not all. Cars also has insurance information available, a test track, a huge automobile preview lot, and on auction day, there's supervised childcare and a family restaurant for your convenience. Come out to Cars and see for yourself. We're located near I-85 at Jimmy Carter Boulevard on Brook Hollow Parkway. Or call us at 441-CARS.
With services like that, Cars makes buying and selling a car a slam chunk.
Cars is open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6, Friday, 9 to 9, and on Saturday, Cars is open from 9 a.m. until the last car is auctioned.
Sunday, Los Angeles, California. The Ram, the Atlanta Falcon, and the hits just keep on coming. Catch the tailgate show at 2:05. Kickoff at 4.
Remember, you'll enjoy the game more if you turn down the TV sound. Use that mute button and hear Larry Munson and Jeff Van Note exclusively on AM-750 WSB.
AM-750 WSB. And don't forget, since we're such wonderful, nice people, we don't want you to pay the phone bill if you're a Bell South Mobility customer. All you need to do is call the talk number, which is 872-0750, and that's a free call on your Bell South Mobility telephone. And our guest speaking on the phone in Los Angeles, California, is Dr. Robert Butterworth, and he is going to be on TV. What is it, Friday coming up? A week from this Friday?
You got it.
And it's going to be on To Tell the Truth.
I did a study where I dressed up as a beggar to try to find out what it's like to be a panhandler on the street. So your listeners will probably be able to pick me out of the two imposters, probably because of my voice, but that will be the story.
That's great. Next call is going to be Gary in Newnan, Georgia. And before we get to Gary, I mentioned that if you you let your kids fear and you make them feel like they're bad, that they will grow up that way, and that'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And Doctor, you can pick up on that thought.
Well, you know, let's take a kid and all their friends, and say all their friends decide to go out on Halloween, and little Johnny can't go. Well, little Johnny's going to wonder why. Little Johnny's probably going to be made fun of by the other kids, and maybe even little Johnny's going to start to resent the parents and even start resenting the religion. So when little Johnny becomes a teenager, everything that has to do with religion is going to be dumped out, and that's sad.
It really is.
It really is.
That's a good point. Next caller is going to be Gary in Newnan, and hello, Gary, you're on WSB.
Yes, I basically feel like, as far as Halloween goes, like your last caller, JL, and because, you know, nobody has ever been led to Satan just by going out trick-or-treat. And I know I was raised in the church, and I'm a born-again Christian, and I've never known anybody. I've got friends that believe that it's wrong to go out trick-or-treating or have anything to do with Halloween. But if people, you know, people believe that it's Satan and their conviction is that way, then they shouldn't be doing it. But as far as somebody that's not afraid of it, then, you know, I think it's good that they do it because it's just like the fun, you know. Our church is going to have a Halloween party. But one other comment I want to make on something you said a while ago about being Christ-like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the word Christian comes from a meaning that means Christ one, and there's a difference in being a Christ one and being Christ-like, because you got a lot of people that are not Christians that have some Christ-like tendencies, but that don't make them a Christ one.
Oh, but that doesn't make them bad.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Christ-likeness, just because they're not a Christian. Because I know, you know, this is something me and my wife talked about people that are not Christians have a lot of good qualities, and some people that are not Christians will give you the shirt off their backs.
Yeah,
that does not make them a Christian. See, a lot of people get it backwards, and, you know, we're not Christians by good works. We're Christians to do good works. Because a lot of people think, well, if I do good and I treat my fellow man right, that'll make me a Christian, but that's not the way it works.
All right, thank you for your call.
Okay.
Any comments, Bob?
Well, no, it's just that, you know, here we are again analyzing this holiday to death, and a holiday that is kids look forward to, and now we look at the statistics for adults. 50 million adults, 1 out of 4, will go to a Halloween party this Halloween. Actually, Halloween is becoming the second most celebrated holiday that adults get involved in. The only one that beats it is New Year's. $120 million will be spent on costumes, $90 million on parties, and $30 million on candies. I'm sure a lot of dentists are going to be happy about that.
Next call is Chuck in Doraville. Hello, Chuck. You're on WSB.
Yes, I'd like to ask Paul a question in reference to why he cuts people off so soon.
Well, I've very seldom... Oh, Chuck. Oh, boy. You have such a good time. Our guest probably doesn't know anything with what's going on, but, well, Robert, we have this commercial. I don't know if you have this same commercial out in L.A. on our sister station, KFI, that you are going to be on, I understand. But there's this commercial with this guy called Bob, and he's a temporary employee. And the commercial says, call account temps and call Bob. So this guy has made basically a life's mission out of bringing Bob to our talk shows. Very weird person. I think he should go out on Halloween and have a good time.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, and what happens, though, is sometimes on Friday nights he misses his encounter session. Carol in Duluth, you're on WSB.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Good.
You know, just a comment about Catholic people. I think of the Hawthorne nuns down at the Our Lady of Perpetual Health Hospital.
OLPH.
Yeah, where they take care of terminally ill patients, cancer patients, at no fee with just graciousness and goodness and care. And guess what? They're Catholic.
Well, you know, I have to be honest with you. Our guest earlier has been a Catholic priest all his life, and he's the biggest critic of the Catholic Church, and he can get away with it because he is Catholic and he is a Catholic priest. I don't agree with everything the Catholic Church has to say. There's a lot of stuff that they do that I just cannot go along with. You got good Catholics and good Baptists and good Presbyterians and good Hindus and, contrary to popular belief, a heck of a lot of wonderful people who are atheists.
That's true.
And
very true.
And it's really sad that people get so hung up about religion, and they got to lighten up.
Yeah, they do. They do. But insofar as Halloween goes, I'm with you. It's fun.
Sure it is.
It is. It's a good time.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
I've been keeping count here, and we're gonna determine if it's more males or females are saying let's lighten up. And so far, your female callers are ahead.
And you know,
there are more females there that are saying, hey, let's lighten up. The males are the ones that are taking this holiday too serious.
You know what it is? Maybe it's like the old idea. Maybe females are smarter than us guys.
Well, don't say it so loud.
Carol, thank you.
You're welcome.
All righty, we'll take a short break, and then we'll be back with about 9 more minutes of our special guest, Dr. Robert Butterworth. And then we're going to do some open calling, and you know what I'd like to do tonight, which has resulted from this discussion we've had in the last couple of hours? I want to ask you to call me up, and get ready for this, because we're going to do an extra hour tonight. I want to do a topic, and here it is. Are people in America losing their sense of humor? I hear all of these gloomy people. Oh, I'm religious. Oh, I can't have a Christmas tree. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, I'm going to hell if I just slip up one time. Again, back to what I said before. I think Jesus was a pretty fun guy with a good sense of humor. How many of your friends would come over to your party when you ran out of wine and turned water into wine? That's a sense of humor.
Hello again, everybody. This is Skip Carey here to tell you about a winning team. Cherokee Heating and Air Conditioning, Carrier, and Georgia Power Company. If you're like the rest of us today, you're watching all your expenses. One that seems to go up every year is the cost of air conditioning, which most folks here in the South feel is a necessity and not a luxury. Well, that winning team I mentioned is doing something about holding down the cost of cooling and heating your home. Carrier's new high-efficiency line of Tech 2000 equipment can cut your cooling costs as much as 50%, and if you have an electric furnace, their heat pump can save you as much as 60% in heating costs. The rest of the team, Cherokee, your Georgia Power Company Good Sense Carrier dealer, will make sure you get the best price and the best installation possible on a Carrier high-efficiency Tech 2000. Call Cherokee at 458-2201 for a free estimate on replacing your old cooling and heating system. It makes good sense to deal with a winner. Cherokee, 458-2201.
The following conversation is based on actual phone calls made to NTW competitors.
Hello, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'm trying to find some Michelin Sport XGTV tires for my 87 Corvette.
No, I don't have them.
Ah, man, really? I just heard a lot about that tire, you know. It's supposed to give you an incredible amount of handling and responsiveness. It's got those 2 steel belts.
Yeah, hold on. Those kind of cars require a special kind of wheel, and we don't stock anything for
Well,
it.
can you get something like that in?
No, I can't. I don't know. Try NTW.
NTW? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, when you gotta have the superior handling and responsiveness you get with the Michelin Sport XGTV, or you want it for its high levels of dry and wet adhesion, you come to NTW. And remember, high-performance tire dudes, if anyone tells you they have lower prices on a wider selection of tires, call them on it. We did.
NTW and Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. NTW. Nobody sells more brands of tires for less.
The temperature is cooling down, but the boat and RV deals will be scorching this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Metro Atlanta Boat and RV Sale at American Fair 1701 Mountain Industrial Boulevard, Stone Mountain. American Fair, Sagon Motorhomes, Pico Camping, A&H Camper Mart, Holiday RV, Southeast Motorhome and RV, and Brown Camping Sales will have camping and RV equipment at the show. Stovall Marine, Shaddix Marine, Starboard Marine, Samcan Marine, Gainesville Marine, and Browns Bridge Marine will all be bringing new and used boats for this sale. These dealers are open overstock, these units must go. Special financing on site and dealers welcome. Hours Friday and Saturday 10 till 10, Sunday noon till 6. Exercise your buying power and buy your new or used boat or RV Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Admission and parking free. The Metro Atlanta Boat and RV Sale at American Fair, 1701 Mountain Industrial Boulevard, Stone Mountain. The Absolutely Everything store with absolutely everyday savings. The Metro Atlanta Boat and RV Sale at American Fair. Don't you miss it.
Monday afternoon, the Gary McKee Hometown Radio Show hits the streets again, 4 to 7. You will be with us. And now more of Paul Gonzales on AM-750 WSB.
Thank you, Garrow. AM-750 WSB's exclusive weather center forecast from our own meteorologist, Kirk Mellish. Clear and cool tonight, low 38 in the suburbs, 45 in the city. Tomorrow, blue skies with a high of 72 and a low of 49. And Sunday's going to be a nice day, partly cloudy with a high temperature of 74 degrees. Part of Sunday morning, I'll be here, of course, with Sunday Morning Atlanta. And we're going to bring Maureen Solomon back. You know, the lady who wrote Foods That Heal? She was so popular this week on Sound Off that we had a record number of telephone calls here, and she had a record number of telephone calls in San Francisco. So we're going to have her back on Sunday Morning Atlanta to tell you about if you eat the right foods, you can help deal with some of your diseases. And then we're going to have a lady who a lot of big hospitals secretly hire when they have terminally ill patients. She is a healer. And she will talk about some of the very unusual things that she's done when everything else medically has failed. And she also claims that she's healed some aliens from outer space who have a problem with the atmosphere. But she's a very interesting lady, very believable, and she will be joining us on Sunday Morning Atlanta. Then Monday, we'll have our friend Ingrid Newkirk, animal rights activist. Right now, it's Dr. Robert Butterworth, and we're talking about Halloween and religion. And Jed in Fairburn, you're on AM-750 WSB.
Aren't you grateful for opposition in all things?
Oh, opposition, yes, sir. If we didn't have the opposing callers, the program would be boring.
There's opposition in everything. I've really kind of enjoyed listening to you guys tonight, your program.
Thank you.
First time call. I didn't realize WSB was a sister station to KFI.
Yeah, we have KFI in Los Angeles, WIOD in Miami, and a couple of stations in Florida, a station in North Carolina, a station in Chicago. We're all over the place.
You know, I used to listen to KFI all the time when I was driving from, say, Vegas up through Utah and Idaho. Mm-hmm. And they had a real good signal. But anyway, I'm for lightening up, and I'm a male that can say lighten up out there because, you know, as I listen to your program, listen to everybody that calls in, I just wanted to, you know, just comment and say, you know, I'm 23 years old, married, and have a child, and being very, you know, successful in what I'm doing as far as a career. But, you know, I'm only 23, and I can remember back when, you know, I was younger, and I think we all need to get together as a family. I'm going to take advantage of it with my new daughter. And I know my family took advantage of the situation of saying, Halloween, let's get together as a family. Let's go trick-or-treating as a family. It was a time for us to be together as a family. There was nothing scary or evil, anything like that, involved with it.
Really?
You know, it's a time to say, let's get together as a family. And I think, you know, society is made up of families.
Amen. That's the...
You know,
that's a very rude, and here we have a psychologist who I'm sure would agree with that.
Well, you know, Paul, he had an interesting comment. He says he remembers the fun he had. You know what I'm afraid of? A lot of these people that grow up to be adults, they get this kind of amnesia, and they forget what it was like to be a little kid and having fun.
I know.
It really is true. It's like a really amnesia, and they just cannot remember what it was like to be a kid and having fun.
And, Jed, you were a great wrap-up caller for our get-together. And, Doctor, you've been a terrific guest. Like I say, I heard about you and how popular you are out in L.A., and I'm glad you've joined us here in Atlanta. And this is not the only issue that you deal with. You have a virtual plethora of issues, so I hope we can meet again this way and do something like this again soon.
I hope so, too, Paul. It's been really fun, and it really has.
And we have some great callers, too, don't we?
You really do, but the ladies still won the contest.
I love it.
They're lightening up here.
Well, Doc, you have a pleasant evening out in L.A., and we'll talk again soon, and thank you.
Bye-bye.
And I want you to continue calling me because I'm going to do one more hour here tonight. And I don't want to have to beg for calls. You know, I hate that. So my topic is, are people losing their sense of humor? And I want to hear some examples from you of people who need to lighten up. Call me now, 872-0750. Outside of the area, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Go to your phone now, or else. And we'll be back with more on AM-750 WSB.
Atlanta, WSB, Atlanta, AM-750.
The only station that covers traffic with our own helicopter and airplane. AM-750 WSB. Depend on it.
WSB, Atlanta.
AM-750 WSB news time at the tone, midnight.
And good morning. I'm Lisa Campbell in the AM-750 WSB News Center. The temperature at 12 midnight is 52 degrees. This morning's weather clear and cool with a low of 40. Crisis in the Gulf update. Canada has suspended operations at its embassy in occupied Kuwait. Now the only nations to keep missions open in spite of Iraqi pressure are the U.S., Britain, and France. Meantime, Iraqi newspapers are warning all foreigners in occupied Kuwait to report to local authorities by the 5th of November. If not, the report says they'll, quote, be responsible before the law. And as the crisis in the Gulf approaches the end of its third month, soldiers tell correspondent Thelma Lebrecht life in the desert isn't easy.
For soldiers who've been on alert since August, Colonel Ted Reed, commander of the 197th Infantry Brigade, acknowledges a day off is important.
You can't take soldiers and put them in the middle of the desert and not give them some time off.
One tank unit has set up a makeshift recreation center named after its mascot, the Panther. It has TV, shelter, and showers in the desert, but not all are satisfied.
Well, it's never much of a paradise.
He and some other soldiers stress that despite some improvements, living conditions remain harsh. Thelma Lebrecht, Dhahran, Saudi Arabia.
And keep tuned to AM 750 WSB for up-to-the-minute coverage from the Middle East at the top of every hour, and we'll break in with updates as well. President Bush has signed a temporary spending measure that has averted another government shutdown. It would have taken effect at midnight tonight. Bush took the action on Capitol Hill Friday evening.
I'm here to discuss what we can do for the White House to help move the process forward, to thank the leadership for what I think has been a masterful job of coming together after a lot of us agreed on an approach that didn't work. Sometimes it's pretty hard to pick up the pieces and regroup and try to build something.
Congress and the White House are now trying to hammer out a new budget compromise by the new deadline, which is next Wednesday. AM 750 WSB News Center time, 12:02. Just ahead, parts of Georgia, disaster areas. Plus the weather from Atlanta's only full-time radio meteorologist.
Hi, hope you're having a fabulous weekend. This is just a reminder for you to join the Monday edition of Atlanta's Morning Show with Bobby Harper and Kathy Fishman. Let me tell you something. This recession is not getting any better. We're going to talk to a financial expert. We'll also talk to, hopefully, a couple of winning coaches. Don't forget to join us bright and early Monday morning right here on AM 750 WSB.
AM 750 WSB News Center time, 12:03. Is Cobb County Commissioner Emmett Burton relieved that charges of attempted rape won't be brought against him? Well, you better believe he is. A young woman working as an extra in a movie being filmed in Toombs County claimed Burton tried to rape her in a motel room, but the district attorney now says she's changed her tune. Burton's reaction?
I did not do it. And I love and appreciate all of our supporters, the hundreds of people who called and sent cards. I'm glad it's over, and I hope everyone in the world forgets it ever happened so that my family can.
Burton says he has no idea why the woman accused him in the first place, and he has no plans to pursue legal action against her. President Bush has declared major disaster areas exist in the eastern parts of Georgia. That is the result of severe storms and flooding earlier this month. The president's action makes federal funding available now to supplement the needs of affected residents in Burke, Columbia, Jefferson, and Richmond counties. And when Gwinnett County voters decide the fate of a school bond referendum next month, they'll also decide the fate of a program designed to curb the dropout rate. AM 750 WSB's Elaine Wooten has that story.
One of the items in the $135 million bond referendum is the Open Campus High School. It's a program for students who've either dropped out already or those at risk of dropping out. Principal Robert Campbell says the program has grown in both size and achievement since it started in 1988.
We grew from 178 students to 800 students. And this past January, which was 2 years later, we had almost right at a 80% success rate.
Right now, the open campus program is held in the evenings at an existing high school. Campbell says if voters approve the $6 million to build a separate school, the program could be expanded to accommodate about 2,000 students. Elaine Wooten, AM-750 WSB News.
The time now, 12:05. Here tripled the traffic coverage. The Bell South Mobility Network and Skycopter Skyplane traffic reports. And when you see a problem, dial *750. It's a free call for Bell South Mobility customers. Now Atlanta's most accurate weather with AM-750 WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish.
The WSB exclusive forecast overnight, starry sky, quite cool again. Lows in the suburban counties down to 38, in the city at 45 for a low. Then later today, we're looking at sunshine, mild, very low humidity again. High in the lower 70s, low around 46. In the extended forecast for Sunday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Highs 72 to 75 and lows around 55. I'm meteorologist Kirk Mellish in the AM-750 WSB Weather Center.
Currently, WSB color radar checks clear. Under mostly clear skies, the relative humidity is at 63%. Winds are from the east-northeast at 6 miles an hour. The barometer at 30.13 and steady. And at 12:06, the temperature on Peachtree Street is 52 degrees. WSB talk show host Paul Gonzales continues. I'm Lisa Campbell, and if news breaks out, we'll break in. This is Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station, AM 750 WSB.